been putting off making this video purely because I hate learning new things. So I got knitting needles for Christmas from my lovely husband. They're very, very cute. But I love crocheting. I'm really good at crocheting in my opinion. But learning all the intricacies of knitting has just put me off. And honestly, like with my personality type, I don't know how I learn to crochet without giving up, because I don't know, it's just, I don't like learning new things, but I love the look of knits. And I think the ones that I like especially are, from what I can see, quite simple. But I have no idea how to use these. So these are my little needles. Focus in there. They're so cute. They're wooden with the interchangeable cord thingies. Rainbow cord, that's a bit fun. Yeah. So, oh, also, I got a book for Christmas. So this is my Secret Santa present, The Knitting for Olive, which has some really nice jumper and like crossover tops. Simple ones like this, which I'm sure if you've watched any knitting videos like I have, there's a lot of these that are shown knit wise. That's a good smelling book. But there we go. It's so nice. So I'd love to make something like that, and a raglan with just the thicker collar at the top that's super oversized and boxy. But obviously before I'm committing to any big projects, I've said this so many times, I have to do cheap knits, not using fancy wool, not using giant projects. So my goal for this video is I am going to find a small project that teaches me the basics of knitting. I want to learn how to do decreases, and I guess through that I would learn how to do, no, I don't know how to do increases, and not just garter, because when I was younger, my mom taught me how to do garter stitch but not purl. So I want to know how to do purl to make it actually look like the little interlocking V's, not just the straight across stitch. But yeah, I don't know what project to do. I've had a little bit of research. I'm currently thinking a little bag or a little top, but I also don't want it to take ages because I've put it off for this long already. I feel like if I have to spend a long time on this project, I'm just going to end up crocheting something. Yeah, so I did get some wool from the op shop. There was a nice massive pack of, it was like, what was it, acrylic cotton blend, which I don't normally get acrylic, but it was a giant pack of just white yarn. So I grabbed that, so I have some yarn to make my first jumper with, which can be like a bit of a fun give it a go project. But that's enough rambling. What I'm gonna do now is have a look at Pinterest to see if I can find an appropriate project to begin. I gotta get ready for the learning curve. Alright, after all of that, I have figured out my plan of attack. So, I have found a beautiful tutorial by Kutovakika, and it's a little summer top. It's a little picture of her wearing it, if you can see that. There we go. It's just super simple, and she does have a pattern that I just bought, so it's like 11 bucks Australian once it got converted. But her video is a follow along video, and it's, from what I can see, quite beginner friendly. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna follow along the pattern and the video at the same time, and hopefully hack my brain to learn how to read knitting patterns so that I can work through that book and knit those things that I find so beautiful but look quite complex for my current level of knowledge. So without further ado, I'm gonna gather my materials and try to knit. So the wool I'm going to use, I have this leftover from a Spotlight haul, little sale item. It's just the plain Flinders cotton, so it's not expensive. And I don't super duper love the colour in the sense that I'll buy more to make a more intense project. And I also don't love Spotlight cotton as much as I used to. So I have that, and if it's not enough, because it's worked from the bottom up, I thought it could look cute with a brown on top, because the brown and blue is a nice little combo. So I should have enough, and it could look a bit funky if the colors change. A good type of funky. Yeah, and then I've got my knitting needles. Whenever I see people cast on, it looks hard. So first challenge, casting on.
And also you'll need stitch markers. These are also from Cocoa Knits. So just a stitch marker to keep track of where the round begins.
I'm also realizing that in the round, purl stitch may not exist because you're not going back and forth, so you don't need to change into purl. Just from what I'm seeing, she hasn't mentioned anything about changing the type of stitch you're doing. So I guess it makes sense because my knitting machine automatically does purl, and I don't think that changes stitches. This is hard. Hello, so it is Saturday. I started this project on Monday, and I've had a few opportunities throughout the week just to knit, maybe for like 10-20 minutes, so not a whole lot of time. It's also obviously a new skill, so I don't automatically reach for it just yet. But I will say that on the second day, when I picked it up, something like clicked in my brain with the, I think it's the continental style of knitting. So I was really slowly, because the video tutorial, she knits continental, so I was trying to copy that, and then I swapped back, I don't know what the other one's called, to the one where you hold it in your right hand, the thread, and that felt all right. But on the second day, something clicked in my brain, and the continental style of knitting where you hold it in your left hand, it just felt so much more natural, and I actually could do it. Like I think I was just wrapping the yarn around my needles the wrong way. So now, for some reason, it just is working, and the tension feels great, and I think I can probably get in the zone in a way where I can just kind of switch off the way I can do with crochet, which I'm really loving. Here's where we're at. Just look at that, it's so nice. The tension at the start is so much tighter than now. I literally couldn't get my needle in for a lot of it. It was that tight, but now everything feels pretty even, which is good. So I've got the evening at home, just hanging out while Lewis is at a football game. So I can literally just knit. And I'm hoping to have this done by Monday, because I would love to get this video out ASAP. I also really want to knit other projects. Like, I'm actually getting excited about it versus feeling a bit overwhelmed with the fact that it's a new skill. Yeah, so I will keep knitting. I will go crazy for however many hours I can. I'll put on a little TV show. I'm watching One Day on Netflix, and I'll just crochet my heart out. Not crochet, what is this? Knitting. Alright, so I forgot to film at the end of my knitting, but I did knit for quite a lot of the evening, and this is where I'm up to. So knitting, it looks beautiful, but it takes a really long time. I'm realizing this project was done, or is being done, on 4.5mm needles, so quite tiny, I believe. And I've realized, I thought like I got a mixed pack of teeny needles to large needles, but I only have small to medium. So I think I will need to get some nice chunky ones for some projects that I'd like to do soon, like a jumper, which might take a little bit longer if it's on a small needle. But it looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm really surprised how easy it is. I really thought I'd have to do like knit and purl and everything, but the fact it's just stockinette, which is the name of the stitch, I've been doing my research, has just made it really simple. So what's my tip? Don't be scared of learning something new like I am. It's always easier than putting it off just to give it a go. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna keep knitting now. And I'm really hoping to have this done by the end of the week, but I just knit when I can, so it takes a little while sometimes. I'm realizing with all these project-based videos, I'm like, oh, it actually takes me quite a long time if I'm doing something new and something quite intricate, but that's okay. I'll just keep going and working on it when I can. Alright, now don't be mad at me, but I forgot to film when I changed colours. So the knitting has grown. We're a few weeks later and I did a little Google on how to change colours, which literally is just start knitting with a new colour. So I did our little blue and brown mix and then just brown. I was getting really excited, as you can tell by all of the options, and now I'm just going ahead on the brown. So I've got this much left of my balls of wool to not only complete the top, I don't know if it will be enough actually, complete the top, but do the straps as well. The straps and finishing it are going to be the trickier part because, I mean, it's not tricky, I just need to learn and I hate learning, so I like learning. I just don't fully enjoy it. Anyway, the knitting part's been really fun. I really enjoy the feeling of knitting, especially on these needles. The only thing, I think I mentioned it before, is one of them just gets untwisted and then it becomes like a little catch for the yarn to get caught on, which hasn't been helpful because I thought I could fix it by tightening it. Turns out I can't. So yeah, I just have to keep going and knitting. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch my show and knit, and we're getting very close though. It's so thick though for a tank top. Don't know what season this one's gonna be worn in, but we'll see. This project is taking a stupid amount of time to find the motivation to finish. I got stuck pretty much because I am pregnant. So I was struggling very, very much with nausea, and as much as I love just like the simple plain knitting that I've been doing, I just felt so sick. I wasn't even crocheting, which is crazy because I love crocheting. And so I think as of last week or the week before, I started feeling better and I started crocheting again. So instead of finishing the project I started, I did this. I haven't finished it. I still want to do a nice thick band around here, but it's a hooded scarf for when I go to New Zealand. I love it. But yeah, I do need to finish that as well, but I've decided I've got to finish the knit project and actually commit to learning those skills so that I can make other stuff, because every time I see knitting, I love it, and I'm like, I could do that. I've probably said all of this before. I don't even know when the first clip of this knitting project was, because honestly it was so long ago. Yes, a long time. Yeah, so I'm going to put on my hard work hat, and the next clips are just going to be me finishing this knit top, because if I don't do it now, my stomach is going to be too big to fit in this top. Then I will never wear it, and it was a waste of time. I would have learned stuff, but it's nice to actually wear what you make. So we're doing it. Here's the mega montage of me finishing the top. In the next talking video, I will be wearing the top, hopefully.
So it's going to be very loose. It's probably going to curl up. So I try to keep my nose really nice and even, but also pretty tight.
We have hit a pretty annoying snag where my needle, brand new, got them for Christmas, completely snapped. So that is not the best idea. Luckily I found a pair that my gran gave me in my craft cupboard. So I'm gonna hopefully transfer them over. I'm just so sad because these are lovely wooden needles. And yeah, my tension just must have been way too tight. The video said that pearl normally is a little bit tighter naturally. No, looser. So I tried to make it a bit tighter as I went through. But obviously that was the poor decision that snapped my needle. Because I can't imagine they would normally do that if your tension was relaxed enough. So that is super annoying, but we are continuing. Pearl is hard, but I managed to get through a row, and it was on the way back that it all went downhill. So we're nearly there. Keep going. This is for the decrease section at the very end. So just finishing up the front panel, decreased all the way at the back, which was fine. This one may be just a little bit bigger, maybe 0.5 millimeter, but at least it's not broken. That's so sad. Ugh. Guys, it's done. The top is finally complete. So I'm here in the moment I've been waiting for about 3 months. I want to thank Kika from Kuto over Kika. Her channel was so helpful to learn how to knit. It didn't need to take me this long, but it did. Anyway, we got here in the end. I learned so many skills from making this top, and honestly, it was just great. It was a great first project. You just, like with anything, learning it new, you have to commit to the process of learning new things, obviously, which I don't know why that was so hard for me to adjust to. Just that. But I did. We're here. The end result I love. I haven't blocked it purely because the top fits perfectly right now. The only thing I might do is steam the bottom so it's not so rolly. As you can see, there's a little roll there. Yes, but I don't want to block it just in case everything stretches out at the top and then it just doesn't fit. So I did the large size, and I was a little bit unsure whether it would actually fit. The whole time I thought it would be too big, but then I also forgot that by the time I finish this, I am nearly 20 weeks pregnant. So that helps with sizing, I guess. Yeah, this is the end. It feels so soft just in the Spotlight cotton. That's the project. We're finished. I've been waiting to make this clip for so long. So thank you for coming along the journey. And hopefully my next knit project will not take this long. See ya.